So you changed your headline this week. Maybe you left some comments, and now you're looking at your profile, going, "Did any of this do anything? Like, did any of this help? Here's the thing. I want you to look at. Well, I'm going to tell you the numbers I want you to look at. Okay, I want you to look at because often I find that people are looking at the wrong numbers. First thing that a lot of people look at are likes, and honestly, who doesn't like to be liked, right? We all love likes. But likes doesn't fill your bank account. Period. The end. Likes doesn't fill your bank account. So we want to be sure that we're tracking it, so it's misleading, right? So it's misleading. People, it just shows how many people scrolled past you and said, "Okay, not bad. I can deal with that. I can deal with that." They don't really measure any if anybody really decided anything about you, right? Like so 200 likes and zero conversations did less for you than a post with 11 likes and one DM, right? Does that make sense? Follower count. Follower count is a satisfying number, right? But it's also not all that useful either, because you can have 12,000 followers and no idea what any of them think you do, right? Or what is going on with you. So you're not trying to build just an audience, right? You're trying to be findable. You're trying to be decidable, right? And you're trying to be findable and decidable by a small number of people, by the people that are going to track you next, right? So measure that. One thing I like to look at is who viewed my profile from my posts. That's a statistic you can look at, and I like that one because it shows that people are taking action when they see the post, right? They're not just hitting like, they're checking me out, right? So even if they don't hit like how many people checked out your profile, that's a number that I really like to look at. So think about what number maybe you've been checking. Has it been one of the numbers that I talked about here, or are you actually checking for engagement? Are you actually checking for signals that somebody is looking to do more with you? So if you don't know who I am, I'm Karen Yankovich. This is a daily show that I'm doing for most of the remainder of 2026 called the Category of One. I want you to be the category of one. I want you to stand out from your competition, stand out from everybody else so people know exactly how to hire you. I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, and then there's a YouTube playlist, Category of One, on my YouTube channel at Karen Yankovich, and I think the YouTube's at Karen Yankovich 1, because at Karen Yankovich gets you to me too, but not the one I want you to go to, right? So we're here every day for that. And every day I've got a little bit of a different, strategy for you. So I want to show you a number that I want you to look at that is maybe one of the most underused numbers on the entire LinkedIn platform. And it tells you how many searches you turned up in. Okay. How many times did you come up in a search result? So here's the thing. When somebody, it's nice when somebody likes what you're doing because they came across you. But when somebody's searching for exactly what it is you do and you come up, now that's what we want, right? And you can see this is a direct scoreboard for your headline, right? And for some of the work that we started to do this week. You changed it, hopefully on Monday. If not, go back and look for that video. And this is where you find out whether the words you chose are the kinds of things that people are actually typing. Like, see if that number is starting to grow. So if your search appearances are flat and your keywords don't match what your buyers search, that's not a diagnosis. It's not a disappointment. Just go change the words, right? Just go change the words. I also like to look and see who's viewing me. Right now, I have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I don't think it's necessarily something that you need, but we talked about that a couple days ago too. The count matters less than the actual people, right? Are you being viewed by people looking to sell you things, right? Like, you could tell who they are. Or are you being viewed by people that are your ideal clients, right? So those are the kinds of things you want to do. 10 views from the right titles beats 200 from nobody in particular. We're micro targeting here on LinkedIn because I want you to get the contract, right? And I want you to get big, fat, juicy contracts, not 100 contracts. So look for pattern shifts, right? Are you attracting peers? Are you attracting sales? Are you like people looking to sell to you, or are you attracting people who could hire you? And keep an eye on this week after week, right? A view is somebody that's deciding whether to bother engaging with you, whether to bother hiring you, maybe, right? So that's the exact moment your profile is doing the job we want it to do. How good a job is it doing? That's why we're here, right? That's why we're here today. So the signal that actually counts And I like to refer to these as signals because when I talk about likes and comments, like it's just what everybody else is talking about. And I just don't think it matters as much. I want those signals that your profile is signaling the right people to come to you, right? So the real metric are more of the right conversations starting. Are people starting to start conversations with you? I can tell you since I started doing this live series, I've had a couple of really good conversations, a couple of really good conversations. Inbound messages that aren't pitches, right? Are you getting those kinds of things? Are people referencing your work without you prompting them to? Right? Is that happening? Is somebody saying, I saw your comment on blah, 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 right? Engagement, conversation, right? About what you are, what you want to be known for, what you're the category of one for, right? Invitations, podcasts, panels, coffee, whatever, right? That's the scoreboard. That's what everything else is like a leading indicator of where we want to go with our LinkedIn strategy with the people that we're working with. But you got to give this some time, right? It's not going to happen. Like I know I'm on like day 11 or something of this series, and I asked you to change your headline like a couple days ago, like a week ago. So it's not going to happen. It could start happening that fast. Like I said, I'm on day 11 and I'm already getting some really good engagement, and not even on these posts, by the way. They're in my DMs, which is what I want, right? Which is what I want. So profiles don't changes don't move anything immediately. It takes a little bit of time. Search indexing and human noticing both take a little bit of time, right? It's not something you need to check daily, but maybe once a month. Maybe once a month, create like a chart of a couple things that you want to track on LinkedIn and then start tracking them, right? Daily checking makes you change things way too often to learn anything. Even weekly checking is probably too often. And what you should do today is take a screenshot of those numbers. Take a screenshot of those numbers, save them somewhere, save them in a Google Drive, put them in a folder that's got today's date on it so that, and then put a calendar item in, maybe even 2 weeks from now, just because we're like kind of in the thick of it here. But generally, I would say for a month from now, and then take a look at them again, do screenshots again and compare them. If you're a spreadsheet geek like I am, put them in a spreadsheet, right? Put them in a spreadsheet. This is your baseline, and you're going to want this in a couple of weeks when you're really diving into this. You're going to want to know what your baseline is. So, what's coming up this week? Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the first 40 characters of your headline and why they're the only ones that get read. I'm just reading my notes here, you guys. Tuesday, podcasts, booking that podcast book 6 to 8 weeks out, which means Q4 is being decided right now. Time to start doing that. We're going to talk about that on Tuesday. Wednesday, pitch slapping in a party dress, right? That's what we're going to talk about Wednesday. Thursday, when to post when you hate posting. Friday being the obvious answer. And to be honest, Tuesday is the one I'd clear your calendar for if you want anything on a stage before Christmas. If you want to start, if you want, like I'm doing this because I want you to have an amazing Q4. And that requires visibility for you, right? So if you just got here, I'm Karen Yankovich. This is the category of one every day at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, and then it lives on my LinkedIn profile. It also lives on my YouTube in a playlist, right? I'm doing this. So what we're doing in the category of in this daily live series is giving you some strategy, right? I'm just giving you some strategy around all this stuff, and then remember I said to you, like one of the things that I look for are people coming to my profile. I want you to have an amazing profile. And I know these little drips and drabs of strategy I'm giving you, if I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't thought it was helpful, right? But I want to give you an intensive. So in September, we're going to do a LinkedIn profile intensive. If you want to be a part of that, it's completely free. By the way, it's 3 days. Just comment category in the comments and we'll make sure that you get on that because I want to make sure you have the profile that's setting you up for that amazing Q4, right? I want you to be making some money with this LinkedIn stuff, right? I want you to be making money. Money is how we change the world. We see this, right? We see this. We see the people with money and how they're changing the world. Be one of those people. Be one of those people. And this is where it happens. It happens on LinkedIn. So today, your homework is screenshot your numbers. That's your baseline. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about your headline again, the first 40 characters. This is day 11. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern.